With a full court press for passage, the Calvo administration this morning began the day by sending out mass emails to all GovGuam employees, encouraging them to lobby lawmakers to pass Bill 184, or their $36 million supplemental budget request. The email outlined what would happen should senators fail to pass the legislation with minor changes by the end of today. That includes critical government services stopping and health insurance coverage for GovGuam employees and retirees getting pulled. Some senators weren't fazed, saying it was all hype.
In no way know how this government will be shut down.
But for the most part, the governor's Bill 184 and Senator Pangilinan versions are the same with a few changes. For example, it scraps the administration's initial plans to use $15 million the OPA determined was an overpayment to the retirement fund. Pangilinan's bill implements the governor's agreement with the fund to reduce GovGuam's contributions from 26 to 21% over the next 4 months, which frees up $7 million, which will go to pay GovGuam's health insurance and help restructure GMH's payments to the fund. The bill also mandates that the next time GovGuam secures a general obligation bond, it includes the outstanding principal and interest owed to the fund.
The approach we have to funding this is to roll it into Public Law 2838, and it becomes part of that interest-only payments. So it doesn't get paid from the retirement fund, because the original one in the retirement fund was $15 million, but it's $15 million is no longer available. So instead of not making any payments for GMH, we've decided to add it to the current money owed by GMH, and then we're paying the interest payments on that so that the people can retire.
The amendment is fully supported by the Retirement Fund Board Chair, Joe T. San Agustin.
I think retirees can, and the members of the fund can be assured also, if this bill is passed as it is, we can assure you that the hospital, which had over 30 people waiting to retire, can now proceed to make sure that they be able to retire.
So where does the Calvo administration stand on the substitute bill? Guadalupe is already expressing concerns with a new provision which takes $400,000 Reverend Tax was going to use to implement an electronic tax filing program. The substitute version instead mandates that money be used only for processing Guam income tax returns at an IRS service center. According to a media release, the governor's fiscal policy team has begun discussions to use IRS service centers, but not anywhere near finalizing any agreement. If the language remains unchanged, the $400,000 will remain untouched and unused to help process tax returns. BBMR Executive Director Benita Manglonia says they will also be taking a close look at a provision to borrow to pay the retirement fund.
Well, there is one provision there regarding the savings in the retirement fund that, when we do go out and borrow money, that it's going to be paid back.
Also of concern, the legislature's removal of the governor's request for a 100% transfer authority. The governor only has 15%, according to the governor's fiscal policy team. Governor Calvo will exceed his transfer authority if he were to use this budget tool to fix the shortfalls from the faulty fiscal year 2011 budget. Lawmakers at around 5 o'clock passed the budget bill. Every senator that was present voted in support of the substitute bill, with the exception of the 3 that were not in attendance, namely Senators Chris Duenas, Tina Muna Barnes, and Tom Atta. The bill will now head to Guadalupe for the governor's review. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Lanny Walker.